Hello, folks. Welcome back to Fear Strike Reviews. This is Rex Delano here, and let's pray, folks. Let's pray. For Fear Strike is going to review one of the worst films that came out in the mid 2000s. A film by WWE, starring none other than the Doctor of Thugonomics himself, John Cena. Oh yeah, this is one of his first films too, so it's going to be a really bad one. Ladies and gentlemen, Ferox Frank is going to review The Marine! Just be warned, the movie is a real piece of shit. So, let's wish us. So, let's. I'm sorry, folks. I was with Ferox Frank watching this film. Oh boy, it is a bad one. It is just really, really bad. So, folks, pray for Ferox. And let's hope he has the strength to review The Marine. Ferox Frank, take it away, good buddy. Thank you, Rex. That was very much unnecessary. Yeah, I mean, oh boy, this is a bad movie. You know, I give Eight the Heads and the Double Back some credit. I mean, that movie was a pure black comedy and it was meant to be comedic in some aspects or another. But this movie, oh no, no, no. Today's movie is The Marine, starring John Cena, the Doctor of Thugonomics, and uh, you know what, folks? If a guy looks like Arnold Schwarzenegger, why don't you make sure one, the guy can act, and two, make sure he can pull off the shit that the Marines can actually do, because everything he's doing in here is not what the Marines actually fucking do. Well, at least hand-to-hand combat-wise, it isn't. Also, just a bit of a fun fact here: the case I have here is like all kinds of fucked up. How is it possible that this is how the case is all fucked up? Did I buy it like that? Well, here's a bit of a fun story. This actually happened way back in early 2019. When I was actually fully getting ready to do my show and everything when all this happened, and I actually wound up going to. I actually went to visit some friends. Actually, went to go visit some friends and family over in Lyndhurst. Went to the public library, and I just happened to look at what they had for sale, and there was a bunch of films they actually had for sale, like I don't know, like the Science Adventure. Let's see, I got the part right here. The Net, Hitman's Bodyguard, Halo Forward to the Dawn, and the Marine actually just happened to be there. Right, and I had a bunch of, and I also got a couple other books as well, like just a maybe it's all like 5 books and a few DVDs in a way. Anyway, the Marine was just like one of the most random things I just picked up, and it was like what 10 cents. Yeah, how do I know? Because this is literally one from a this is a public library copy, and it is all kinds of fucked up. The disc is a little messed up, and the casing is basically fucking destroyed at this point. Yeah. So why did I go to the library? What the hell? It's a library. Might as well check out what they got. I mean, you'd be surprised what you can find in a local library. All right. I went to the one in Lyndhurst because I went to that place a lot when I was a kid. So, okay, just go there. It's changed a lot. Although I went there recently, it's still changed. Yeah, for better or for worse. Who cares? Hmm. Though I don't live in that town anymore. But hey, what the hell? Go back to an old place you had some childhood memories. Bound to find something sooner or later. But what about this fucking film? Oh boy. From what I've heard about this movie back in the day, was anything but kind. I mean, one of the things I've heard about this movie that was that I didn't actually see this movie in theaters at all, and this was actually during the rise of John Cena's popularity in films. And okay, he was basically becoming a big, big rising star in the WWE at the time. And when when Dwayne the Rock Johnson became a big mega hit star in Hollywood, they decided, hey, we could probably do the same thing with John Cena. This first film did not turn out so well. I mean, Dwayne Johnson's first film officially was actually I would say the Mummy Returns, but that's only down to the point where he actually was we made mostly just like he was one of the main characters, but he doesn't show up until the beginning or towards the end. All right, and even towards the end, he's a CGI abomination, which is ridiculous. But And here's another fun fact too. Dwayne and The Rock Johnson and Brendan Fraser had never actually met while they were on set. No, they never actually met. And Dwayne actually wants to do a film with him, and Brendan's like up for it too. And you know what? Since the movie The Whale actually became a huge hit, I say, Brendan, go ahead. I would like to see you two go in a movie together. Like, not even joking. I would literally go see a film with you two together. Go ahead, do it. Yeah. Now, Dwayne Johnson's first official film was actually The Scorpion King, which is kind of like a Conan the Barbarian knockoff, but in sort of a good way that it was action packed and it actually had a kick ass soundtrack with the song I Stand Alone by Godsmack. Pretty awesome song. Still lives to this day. Then again, I was a little. Then again, have you actually seen Godzilla 2000's trailer when they had the song Super Beast by Rob Zombie playing? Now that was awesome too. Yeah, too bad the song didn't make it into the soundtrack. That would have been nice. Then again, they probably had to pay Rob Zombie a ton of royalties for that one. So, ironically, when this film got released, it came out just. This movie was actually during the hype, like I said, during the hype of John Cena's early film career. This is his first film career, and other WWE superstars were doing the same thing. Dwayne The Rock Johnson was actually becoming a hit in theaters. Kane would later become a hit in theaters with the movie See No Evil, and I will get to that at some point if I wound up getting the DVD copy. If I get the DVD copy. I mean, I'm having some problems right now. But what about this movie? I'm not going to spend too much time on this movie because this movie is a real giant piece of shit. It is just a fucking turd. I mean, this is one of the worst WWE films I've seen. Uh, yeah. And you know what's even more weird? This movie came out around the same time as the Gridiron Gang came out, which starred Dwayne The Rock Johnson. And that was actually a way better film because actually was based on real life events of a juvenile hall of a juvie center actually having its own football team and actually accomplishing something they never thought they could do. And Dwayne The Rock Johnson just happened to be the coach. It's kind of an inspiring story. It's actually a really good one too, based on true events. I'm not kidding. Look it up. As for the Marine, not so good. What's even more weird is there was another movie that came out called The Marine too, but I actually had to change its title to something called to Killing Down when this one came out too, because this was a big budget film. And it was not worth the film. In fact, one of the criticisms I heard about this movie was people actually went to the theater, they came out, they all got pissed off. People left in the theater all pissed off about this movie. It was just stupid. Wow. What can I say about this movie? Well, for one thing, the disc actually wound up glitching like almost an hour into the film, so I had to look up some of the scenes online real quick before I actually had to do the review. Yeah, it is just all kinds of stupid. Anyway, John Cena plays a character called John Triton, who actually gets discharged from the Marines for disobeying a direct order. And his acting is, how do I put it? It's like one of those extreme styles of acting, like, sir, sorry, I can't do that, sir. I got my wife. I'm going after them. So I'm a Marine, asshole. Not really that good. No, I remember they were really pushing this movie around the time when during WWE when this came out. I remember that a lot, and I gotta be honest, I actually stopped watching WWE around the time when this came out too. So that didn't really help. Oh, sure. Also, one of the criticisms I heard about this movie was John Cena's fighting system. I mean, yeah, he's a pro wrestler and all, but one of the criticisms I heard about this movie was like John Cena didn't fight like a Marine. I'm like, okay, interesting. How does the Marine fight? Well, let me take a look here. I got let's see, I got the original line manual of Marines hand to hand combat from the old one from the 90s. This is beginners, but hey, it's old. It's basically cuts a lot of it cuts all the exotic stuff out, but hey, it's simple, straight to the point. And I also have the entire manual of the Marine Corps Martial Arts Program, or MCMAP as it's known. And believe me, the moves in here are more plausible than what John Cena was doing in the movie. So I don't know. I guess they decided because of the fact that he's jacked up, because it's John Cena jacked up. It's like, okay, maybe he'll be like a kick-ass action star. Yeah, he needed training for that one. Hell, even Arnold Schwarzenegger went through martial arts training before he took up Conan the Barbarian, and that's not a joke. I mean, seriously, he took up swordsmanship, and he has a second-degree black belt in Taekwondo, and that I'm not making up. Schwarzenegger has a second-degree black belt in Taekwondo. That just shows his dedication to acting, and also martial arts is actually kind of a good thing anyway for physical fitness too, and for health reasons. So he gets discharged. He goes home to his wife, who's Kelly Clarkson, by the way. And there's a bunch of jokes I want to make with Kelly Clarkson, but at this point, she's in the Marine. I really don't need to. So, no. The main villain in the movie is played by Robert Patrick, amongst all people, which is, I gotta be honest, very strange and weird knowing he's in this one. We're almost 2 decades, I wish this was a joke. Almost 15 years later, he would actually star alongside John Cena in the DC HBO hit show Peacemaker, where he plays his father. And he plays and he's supposed to play the ultimate racist character, the White Dragon. What? And what's even more strange is the actor who plays Crixus from the Spartacus Blood and Sand TV show is in this movie as well as one of the henchmen. And I didn't even think that was Crixus at first. I mean, I love the Spartacus show, and Crixus is by far one of the most beloved characters on the show, aside from Andy Whitfield playing Spartacus and all. But still, it's strange seeing him in this one too. But this is like before Spartacus came out, because Spartacus came out in like in the late 2000s. So it's kind of obvious to know that that the show came out around that point in time, and this came out much earlier. So yeah, makes sense. Would I recommend watching Spartacus? Fuck yeah! I actually have the whole series on Blu-ray. 13 discs. Great show. Love it. Spartacus is a great show. This, not so much. Anyway, supposedly, Robert Patrick's character is a jewel thief, and he actually steals some jewels, and he actually has a crew who's on the inside. One of the crew members is actually a girl named Angie, and she actually comes in as one of the hostages, but she actually winds up working along with him, and the guy who's inside the bank vault, where Patrick actually broke into. Oh yeah, he actually winds up killing him anyway. Yeah, he turns out he was on the inside, and Patrick winds up killing him, and the cops come in, and we get the most hated character and the most contradicting character in the whole movie, Morgan. Big Morgan, who is a big, strong black guy, and a legit contradictory on himself. He actually kills two policemen inside of a police car with an RPG. That being said, who the hell carries an RPG? This isn't Grand Theft Auto, for God's sake. Seriously, who the hell does that? Anyway, they're on the run. John Triton, I'm sorry, John Triton, basically tries his best to actually fit in, and he can't do it, so he decides to go on a vacation with his wife. And, well, get this. Morgan actually goes out to his buddies to actually get a new car. And Morgan, oh my God, I swear, you would want to shoot this guy. You know what? I'm not being racist or anything, but seriously, if you saw what this guy did in the movie, you would shoot him in the face immediately. As a giant dude, you're contradicting to yourself. Go fuck yourself. In fact, even the devil will say you're a jackass. Anyway, his buddy, his boss tells him to get a ride that's inconspicuous, and his guy at the garage gives him a minivan. Morgan goes, dude, that is a minivan. A brother does not go into a minivan. Are you brain dead stupid? You're on the run. You're not taking my fucking link. You're not taking my fucking Mercedes, all right? Oh, I'll take the Mercedes. No, you are not taking the Mercedes. Here's the keys. Take the van and get the fuck out of here. God. He looks at the camera going, I'm taking I'm taking the Mercedes, man. Okay, I'm not too sure if it really was a Mercedes. I saw this movie a few days ago, so I might have forgotten what the hell the car was called. So, but it's one of those but it's a luxury car, you know. And he keeps making all these stupid assumptions, saying a black man doesn't do this, a black man doesn't do that. You don't see brothers trying to do this. Every word that is coming out of his mouth is giving me a fucking migraine because, oh my god, Morgan, black guys and brothers don't do that. So are you that fucking stupid? The answer is here in this movie. You are. I'm sorry, folks. I'm sorry. I'm trying to keep this as short as possible, but seriously, this Morgan character is what ruins the film. All right. In fact, John Trinan actually meets up with the criminals actually at a gas station where a cop car actually parks right behind the luxury car that they're in, and Robert Patrick's character tries to keep it all cool and everything by talking to one of the cops, and he's like, and Morgan, what's he do? He walks up right behind the cop and shoots him in the head. Even Robert Patrick just goes, "God damn it, Morgan, you fucking idiot!" Well, I gotta kill the other cop now. Bang, 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 bang. They call some stupid shit and they blow up the gas station too while John Trinan's actually still inside, but he survives. Don't question it at all, for God's sake. Don't question it. They kidnap his wife. They kidnap his wife, and the whole movie is him trying to get his wife back from the kidnappers. John actually just gets the cop out of the car, the one who was shot, but he's fine. So he steals a cop car, he calls it in, and he chases after them. We get a semi-passable chase scene where at some point the guy who plays Crixus, he actually yells out, "My God, this guy's like the Terminator!" And all you see the camera just go to Robert Patrick, and we see him in the rearview mirror going, "It's like, yeah, we get the joke, buddy. Yeah, you were the T-1000 in Terminator 2." Actually, the funny thing is, he's actually cameoed as the T-1000 in two other movies, too, which is actually kind of weird. He cameoed as the T-1000 in a European movie and in Wayne's World. And the Wayne's World film came out around the same time as T2. And he was still in his costume. And he also cameoed as the character in The Last Action Hero. That's 3 films. So, go figure. At some point, John Cena actually winds up losing them in the swamp. They crash their cars into the swamp, and they wind up taking well, okay. Everybody gives Morgan shit, and he's like, "You always been blaming me, man. You always been." Oh my god! Somebody please fucking shoot this guy. So yeah, Morgan gets a lot of shit heads to him because he does stupid shit. All right, so they basically take Triton's wife. They go right through the swamp area. The lead detective who's on the case actually winds up finding the cars, and John Triton actually shows up right behind him, and he gets his stuff and goes after them, and he tells and well, the detective just lets him go, because he's going to track him down. Good luck with that. And halfway through the trekking, they actually, at some point, Morgan gets into an argument with one of the guys with a knife, and he says, and basically Morgan just comes up with some bullshit, saying, "Oh, what are you gonna say? I did all this." It's like everything he says, like he blew up the cop at the station. He shot the cop. Everything. You're always gonna be blaming me for all this. Basically, the stupid thing is they have to blame him because he did all this shit. And what's Robert Patrick do? He shoots the guy he was arguing. Mainly because of the fact, you're one crazy son of a bitch. Bang. What the fuck you shoot him, man? Because we need a crazy son of a bitch. Now he picked the girl up, but let's get the hell out of here. And what's even more dumb is like, well, he actually winds up saying, "Dude, I ain't going into no swamp, man, because oh, there's fucking crocodiles in there." You hear the guy who plays Crixus go, "Dude, we're in Carolina. There are no crocodiles here, dumbass." Okay, I'll give Morgan some credit. Um, he's kind of right about that one. Except the movie was filmed in Australia, so okay, the crocodile thing makes sense because they were filming in Australia at the time. But the movie's supposed to take place in the U.S. And after they shoot the guy, well, gators come up out of nowhere. It goes, "Hey, you should know crocodiles here. Those are gators, you dumbass." You know what? Even I have to call him a dumbass. I mean, I can actually tell what an average gator looks like and what an average crocodile looks like. Morgan, he dumb. He dumb. So either way, Morgan actually starts talking more and more shit. They actually find a river shack, and they actually Robert Patrick actually tells Morgan to put the lights on, and he does even more stupid. He goes on to talk about more stupid shit. While John Triton is still tracking them down, and guess what happens? He runs into two meth dealers. Yeah, two Bayou drug dealers who are actually making drugs. They confuse him for a cop, and we get a fight scene between him and them. And there actually is somewhat of a cool scene where John Cena actually pulls like one of the Van Damme pulls a Van Damme kick. You know that famous Van Damme kick he does where he does the jumping, spinning back kick? Yeah, that's what John Cena does. Now, to give him some credit, within these martial art manuals, it says you're not supposed to actually do high kicks, not until you get to a higher level. All right, this is basic beginner stuff. So when you get to a higher level, you can actually put the range of the kick much higher. All right, and surprisingly, you can do a spinning back kick, like that one from karate. Now, karate moves are similarly used in McMap, so I don't know. I guess they had to pull one McMap skill out of nowhere, but that's actually for advanced personnel only. So, and his character is supposed to be an advanced Marine, so all right, they had to do that. So after he beats the shit out of the drug dealers, he goes right back. He grabs a knife and he goes right after. Actually, he took the knife from the dead guy earlier, from the dead thief earlier. So whatever. So it's just Anna Patrick, the girl Angie, John's wife, Morgan, and the guy who plays Crix. They're all hiding in the river shack. So Morgan actually does turn on the power, but there is something there, something a bit of a problem. There's like this big issue with Morgan and Rock Candy, saying that when he was a young kid, when he went to camp once, and he was probably fondled by an adult, by a male counselor at one point. I'm looking at that like, oh, we're supposed to feel sorry for you. Well, here's how I feel about you. What's it bang? You sympathetic? Fuck you, you dipshit. God, I am sorry. I really don't like Morgan's character. And thankfully, John Trine shows up and beats the shit out of him. Actually, he stabs him to death. But the thing is, Morgan puts up a bit of a fight, but yeah, in the end, he stabs him to death. Personally, I would have cut his fucking head off. I'm not even kidding. John Trine should have cut his fucking head off and hung it on a spike. That's how much everybody hated the character, but at least he's fucking dead and gone. Anyway, the guy who plays Crixus, he actually goes out to look for Morgan and actually see if he can jumpstart a boat. Mainly due to the fact that, the guy grew up in New Orleans, so he should know how to work his way around a boat or something. But it turns out he actually grew up in Miami, but whatever. He has a fight with John Cena, which lasted less than 20 seconds. I'm not kidding here. Basically, he beats basically, Trine comes up, surprises him, beats the snot out of him, and chokeslams him. I'm not even kidding. He picks him up and chokeslams him and stomps his head in on his head. Yeah, seriously, he just stomps his head in, killing him instantly. The detective shows up. They have a bit of a showdown with them, but it turns out that Robert Patrick was working for the detective the entire time. And a shootout occurs. The detective gets killed. Angie takes Trine's wife, and Robert Patrick they just leave with with the diamonds they stole. And Trine gets arrested by a cop until he turns the tables around and actually has the cop handcuffed and just gets a boat and drives away. They actually wind up getting anyway. The thieves actually get a truck. They hijack a truck and actually head down to a truck stop. And ironically, John Cena finds where they are because somebody reported it in, and he had just heard it over the radio. He sees the truck. He gets on right behind it. Oh, sorry, hand sanitizer. He gets on right behind it, and this was a little too much, but he grabs the girl Angie and throws her into a bus. Literally. I mean, they're driving this way. A bus is coming out this way. He grabs the girl, throws her right in front of the bus, and she gets tossed right into the window, killing her instantly. And the diamonds become blood diamonds. Robert Patrick, enraged, actually drives the freaking truck right into the water while Triton's wife is still handcuffed in the back. And Triton and John, okay, Patrick and John Cena do have a bit of a fight scene. It's an okay fight scene, but not great or anything. It's nothing special or anything. But the thing is, he gets anyway. Cena throws him into some fire. He does a ridiculous high jump and gets his wife out of the water, does CPR on her, and the burnt body of Robert Patrick shows up out of nowhere. Anyway, they have another bit of a scuffle. Ties a chain right around him, and he does a judo flip while the chain is wrapped around his neck. He grabs the chain, bing, breaks his neck. And the movie ends right here on the spot with John Cena saying, "We should have gone to the beach." And that's the movie in a nutshell. This this is a piece of shit. I'm sorry, folks. I mean, I did not like this film whatsoever. Now, to be fair, I've had seen John Cena in other films, and to be fair, his acting has gotten better over the years. But as far as pro wrestling goes, I don't watch pro wrestling anymore. I don't watch pro wrestling anymore. I pretty much got out of pro wrestling years ago. Like, it was a part of my life that I just loved enjoying it and watching. Like, I loved it when I was a kid. I loved it as a teenager while I was in high school. But as I got older, out of high school, on the job market before I went to college, it's like it kind of got it sort of fizzled out for me. That's why I got into UFC, Ultimate Fighting, actual collegiate wrestling, and boxing and kickboxing into real combat sports, not pro wrestling, because that shit is fake and it gets ridiculous after a while. If you want a film to watch, a Marine kick ass, you're better off watching the Most Wanted film I talked about years ago. Yeah, that movie. You're better off watching that film and actually listen to that psychopath yelling out, "The Warrior!" Yeah, that's a way better movie. Hell, even the Under Siege films is actually way better. And they're mostly about an ex-Navy SEAL who's a cook. Those are way better movies. Hey. Okay, look, here's something else you should probably know. I'm writing a story right about now. Like, I'm legit writing a story right here on my computer about a former Marine who's in the Special Forces, pretty much doing a Jack Reacher type thing. Yeah, like a Jack Reacher style little story, but with a Marine character instead of like some guy who was an MP in the Army. So yeah, I'm trying to write a story up like that. Why? Why not? I grew up with stuff like that, so I figured might as well make a contribution to it. Though I'm also trying to write a goddamn kaiju. I'm also writing a couple of kaiju novels with a couple of Godzilla-like characters. So yeah, several different storylines. I also got a slasher storyline I want to work on. I had to really think how to do this through, so got me a break. So yeah, I'm trying to do some writing, doing some artwork, and Rex says he may do a video just before the end of the month. I don't know what the hell game he's going to play. My guess is it's either going to be maybe the Godzilla game, but if anything, he may just play Maneater or something, or maybe one of the Saints Row games. At this point, I really don't care what he does, alright? Hear that, Rex? I don't care what you do. But if you want my recommendations on this movie, don't watch it. Some of John Cena's other movies, okay, they're a little bit better. Like, no joke, 12 Rounds was a way better film. That was the second John Cena film, and watching it unrated was a lot better than this piece of shit. Like, I couldn't even tell this fucking thing was even unrated or not. It just looked the same. Real piece of garbage. Ugh. What's even more crazy is I think WWE continued doing the Marine films without John Cena by having other wrestlers in it. It's ridiculous. I mean, I think it's like something like maybe 5 or 7 films. I don't know, nor do I even fucking care at this point. But you know what's really stupid? The first film was bad. Guess who started in the second film? Ted DiBiase Jr. And everybody hated that guy. So yeah, make a sequel to a film that was terrible at the box office with a wrestling character everybody hates. Great, WWE, real great. So, I'm better off. I am literally better off reviewing a WrestleMania at this point, or reviewing one of the pro wrestling videos, like Undertaker or something like he buries him alive. I think I may just do that someday. But until then, I'll see you guys in December. I do not recommend watching this movie. It's a piece of shit. All right, Furiox Frank out. Oh, and another thing. Happy Thanksgiving to all. I'll see you in December.